It's your chance to find the best deals on the best gifts before the holiday rush, like cozy puffers and coats and more of the season's best styles. So get your gifts at Macy's now, and when you're cool, calm, and collected during holiday crunch time, you'll have yourself and Macy's to thank. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Krispy Kreme Donuts presents the Thanksgiving Pie Donut Collection. Offering silky, creamy, and crumbly treasures. Enjoy the Krispy Kreme Chocolate Silk Pie Donut or the Lemon Cream Pie Donut. Indulge in the Blueberry Crisp Donut and the delicious Krispy Kreme Apple Crumble Donut. Try them all now at Krispy Kreme Donuts in front of HCA Hospital, 23rd Street, Panama City, and on the Ross Clark Circle in Dothan. Krispy Kreme Donuts, since 1937, where you get them hot.
WVLQ Port St. Joe, WGSX, powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Do you know who I am?
Live and local inside the J. Michaels studio.
People know me.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hot tub! Hey! Hot tub! I'm full of water! I stay hot tub! Stay hot tub! Gonna get you hot tub! I'm gonna make it wet! Stay hot tub! Rubber dub in the hot tub! Rubber dub with me! Check in the hot tub! Yeah! Really make me sweat! Yeah! Check in the hot tub! Yeah! Really make me wet!
Yeah.
Well.
Hey, every time he's in here and this song comes on, I picture him walking up to ready to preach, and they're following him, and he's doing that little dance that James Brown does, and they wave him off.
I can't.
Jacket on his shoulders.
I can't dance.
Yeah, you think they'd wake everybody up at church if you get that playing? Hot tub.
I think we're all looking for a hot tub this morning.
Oh, my goodness. Speaking of church, I want to brag on you. What a great job you do. I've been down there. I've listened to you before. You know what I love about it? You tie it into sports. You love sport. Let me ask you something. How did you you're a big sports guy, and you could have done anything you wanted. Was your dad a preacher? What led you to preach?
I just, grew up in church, like, a lot around here, and enjoyed, that part of the work. Actually, spent time, around ministers, preachers there, and, it's a different work. I mean, you work with people, you find folks in some, difficult times, you get to celebrate some good times with people, and, my work is varied. I never know what I do during the course of a day. I mean, you just go where your people are.
But when did you know when you were young, like, man, I'd like to do this? I
really wanted to teach and coach. I mean, that was kind of...
Well, that's really what you're doing.
Yeah. I mean, in large ways, very similar. Yeah. And, as far as loving sports, I mean, played pretty much any ball that you could find growing up. Tell
everybody again where you grew up at.
I grew up over in Weewah-Hitchcock.
Huge city. Huge city.
Yeah. So, but football, baseball, hunting and fishing, kind of pretty much everyday life over that way in the rural parts.
Now, when did you decide? Like, was it after high school?
This has been after high school.
All right. Where did you go to college at?
West Florida, and then went on to Emory. Did my work up there, and then
what was the tie to you and your family to Alabama football?
Mom and Dad just grew up Alabama fans, and it's that time period you think Florida State are not really on the map.
And Bear Bryant was the king.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you think what Saturday afternoon football looked like on television, there weren't all the options. The one game a week, and they were limited to 3 games a year type stuff. And you
knew you were going to get Bama 3 times.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going and so kind of grew up in that. My first Iron Bowl was Bryant's last as a little boy,
Were you at the game?
Bow over the top, game there. So, so it's just been kind of a story thing. It's not, I went through a time where we had 3 coaches named Mike in 6 months. So this is not a new thing. This is, kind of grown up in it here. Yeah.
See, I was born in 57. Coach Bryant came in, 58?
Yeah.
Was that his first season?
I think that's right. Yeah.
So I was 25 years of glory. Mm-hmm. You just grew up. Yeah. It was just we expected to win or be up there fighting for the championship every year with him. And then it fell apart. Mm-hmm. Then Stallings really got the championship.
I told my girls the other night, I said, you can't appreciate what 2010 was because it's been a long time since 92.
Oh, yeah. It was, and then Saban. It was like having Brian all over again.
And, that era, even telling Alexis and Addison, who, been able to watch some of that, I said, this is not the norm. I mean, there are other.
This is the greatest dynasty in sports. I mean, people are not. That's not me saying. That's what experts have said.
Yeah, you won't see that kind of run
with not now, not with everybody. You know, and let's be honest. Even with Coach Bryant, they'd stock the rosters. And they could get people to come to Alabama. People wanted to go there. They made all the money, and they stocked rosters. Saban did this exact same thing. Their first, second team was just as good as one another. All the guys that left off those rosters that went to the NFL, I don't know if you'll ever see that again.
Yeah, in the NIL world, I mean, even Senator Tuberville, from Alabama, said that Indiana basically went and bought them a ball team this year.
And did a good job.
If you want to do that, you can do that now. As Saban said earlier in the year, you just got to buy the right ones.
Right, and we can look at FSU and see that they shopped in the wrong store.
Yeah, and that's the risk you're going to take, but there's no building continuity. A guy like Blake Sims, who played one season as a starter for Alabama, sitting behind A.J. McCarron.
All those years.
That won't happen any longer. You won't see a fifth-year senior starting in their first year.
I remember when he was the backup, and they threw the ball to the little running back out of the backfield, and they score and break LSU's heart at LSU. And he was the one showing his ringer finger to all the fans at LSU. That's a great point you make right there. And those kids that are coming up now will never know how great it was to be part of a team. Like Saban talked, he's always been part of a team. But just going to Southern Mississippi, the guys I played ball with there that are my best friends in life, we vacation together, my roommate in college, we've lost one of them. And Mike McKenzie up in Atlanta, Blaine Burnett in Mobile, Alabama. Those guys are like my brother. I mean, I'm close to them, anybody in my family. And they'll miss out on all that stuff. We were all, back in those days, you all got redshirted. You come in a redshirt and you'd have 4 years to play 5.
Yeah.
And all the things we experienced, happy, glad, sad, crying. I mean, everything we experienced, they were right there with you, part of your life. And it was always the team. Know your role. Your time will come if you do the right things. Now, I'm not going to be a second team. I can go play over here, make a little bit of money. I'm going to leave Georgia, Florida, Alabama, Florida State, go play at Troy or somewhere like that. It's completely a new game.
Well, and that's where you remember Saban's congressional testimony. He said, everything I had believed in for 50 years is gone. What was his word? Process.
Yeah.
There's no process relative to what he did in terms of how he thought about structuring teams and programs.
It was like overnight it was gone.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, it was a Supreme Court order that changed the whole thing. It went from, completely banned to fully permissible.
I can remember us talking about what's going to happen and how crazy it's going to be and really not believing it. And it's happened. Yeah. It really has happened.
Well, you've seen those Heisman Trophy commercials where they pulled Reggie Bush out of the freezer.
I love those commercials. I used to love them more when Spurrier was on there.
And it's a direct slap at NIL. Because he sold his jersey, lost his all of that.
You're off probation now.
Yeah.
So. I want to go back to you, though. Once you got through with college and you knew you were going to go into this, where did you go to school to become a preacher?
I went to Emory University up in Atlanta and spent 3 years there.
And then when you got out there, where did you start out at?
Montgomery as an associate.
That was your first one?
Yeah, I went as an associate the first time there.
Okay. Yeah. There's no way.
Yeah. And
how long were you associate there?
6 there. And then spent a couple of years up in Wetumpka shortly,
Then came back.
And then went to Pensacola for 5 and then back for 4. So.
Oh, okay. So I didn't know that.
Yeah, kind of down and back. And
that's typical. You move around and
so I'm here.
It's like I said, it's a lot like coaching. And your job's like a coach. It's hard to please everybody.
Yeah, I mean, you've got diverse constituencies in any crowd. You put 3 people in a room, you get 4 opinions. I mean,
and I always let them know mine quite a bit. And I hadn't been invited back since.
Jeremy's life sounds like a disc jockey's. You're on the air for 2-3 years at one place, and then
I'm telling you,
clear across the United States.
That's one of the toughest jobs out there. I'm being serious. Yeah. It's really like being a coach. Even a coach, when you start the season out, you've got, by the time the first game gets around, because everybody's happy, the parents are happy, and then by the first game, the only people happy then are the starters, because the other parents are like, why am my boy starting?
Playing time.
I'm just kind of generalizing.
No, you only put 11 on the field.
Yeah. And then when you lose a game, nobody's happy.
Right.
So it's a tough job.
Well, I've had mayors who have been part of my congregations before. They have a very similar role.
Yeah. No doubt.
Small town mayor has balance all of that. But I will say we've got a great congregation here, and I think one of the things that one, being from the area, and knowing the area, but two, going through the event of 2018 with Michael there, I think changed the dynamics for a lot of people as to what's important, what's not important, what matters, and you see this community that just really embraces people who are coming into the area. You see people realizing, hey, all that was stuff. People put their pants on one leg at a time. I mean, and I've heard that over and over from people who have come into the area, that the hospitality here is just incredible. Yeah. And I've seen that, and that's area's on the way up. I mean, we've got a great congregation there at First United Methodist Church with some tremendous leadership. I mean, Tommy's out today, but he's one of the stalwarts there. Others that we mentioned, the Guatemalas when we do the Auburn update, or the Vandergriffs or others. Right. I mean, they're just
wonderful people,
salt of the earth people there, and they reflect the larger community. I mean, this is a great place to live, call home. Glad our daughters are getting to, grow up here. And Jordan's on the heels there. We got our first flag football practice Friday night. I mean, here
are
we go.
You coaching?
No, I'll do the baseball here, but I think he may do a little better if Dad's not out there.
Try to get him with Ryan Mulvey. Ryan takes that stuff seriously, man.
Very serious.
He had play charts, graphics. He has it all.
I coached against Mulvey in the volleyball a couple of times. I didn't know Ryan at that time, but I felt like he was the Steve Spurrier version of
he was.
I mean,
he was.
If he beat you 25-0, it was your job to stop you.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of
same thing with flag football.
Right.
His job to score points.
And I had a scrappy little group of girls, but one day they were just very lackadaisical coming into the gym, and I'm like, this guy wants to embarrass y'all. Y'all better get your heads out. And my daughter still talks about it.
But you're right about this part of the world. They're just wonderful people. We noticed that when we first moved. We were in Polk County 8 years, about 12 years down in Lee County, and then the rest has been in Bay County. We've never stayed anywhere this long. And of course, I coached at Southern Mississippi, which Coach Carmody was the GA there, and. But the people, that's what first thing we noticed. I think too, they always wanted to school on the beach. I got to meet the beach mafia. I mean, the guys these guys are almost all dead now, and young people never know what they did for this beach. Wes Burnham, Roy Santini, Philip Griffin, Mr. Jackson's now gone. They got a street named after him. All these wonderful men that did. I would sit at lunch on Montego Bay. Really, the only one that's left is Walsingham. He's about, of that group, he's about one of the few ones that Mike Thomas is still around. But I would listen to them talk about what's going to happen in the future. I heard about Pier Park before that even got, I mean, they knew what was going to happen, where it was going to happen, when it was going to happen, and they were incredible men. And the people, people don't really know the history of Panama City Beach.
Well, and we're going to have a continual influx of people in the years to come. I mean, look what happens at Tyndall Air Force Base. Where all of those personnel, it's the base of the future. Comes online. Listen, the 22 corridor out there. I mean, they're talking about the growth. Callaway Parker that will probably necessitate additional schools. The West End now. I mean, you could really see a potential school. I mean.
It's crazy.
It is, and you would think it started with kind of Bay County High School, and then Rutherford Mosley come on, right? Yeah, and now
Rutherford, then Mosley,
and then Bozeman and Arnold, and I mean, we're just going to see this growth here that, 20, 30 years from now will be.
25 years of how it's changed. I failed to mention Earl Durden. Earl was a great man. Yeah. Great man. I mean, I met him. They had a party for Captain Sanders, and Patronus said, I love all those people. They're wonderful people. I hope Jimmy does run for something else. There's word that he might, Gates or even the senators thing. Maybe the governor put him there, but I hope he definitely does something else. He's a great one. But they did that. We had a party at Captain Anders. I met all these guys. Earl Durden comes up, and I get to talking to him. I'm from Montgomery. He's from Dothan, and we're talking. And I finally asked him, "What do you do?" And he goes, "Well, I work at a railroad thing." And I said, "Are you the guy in the back of the caboose and waving the thing?" He started laughing. He says, kind of like that. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I thought it was just maybe an employee there. I didn't find out until later. I don't know if it was Mike Thomas. Somebody later told me. It was maybe Griff. I don't remember. Somebody finally said, what? He's one of the wealthiest men in the state of Florida. He owns railroad state all over. I said, oh, my God, you never know it. He was such a wonderful person, just like you and I talking right now.
Yeah,
they were great people, and I love Mike Thomas, too. There's some great people in this town.
Yeah, it's a tremendous community, and future.
And they're leaving us. They're almost all gone. Only, like I said, the only one I think's left is Walsingham, Mike Thomas. Those legends here of Panama City Beach, and after we moved here for a while, lived here for a while, I said, I don't want to go anywhere else. Mm-hmm. This is where I want to stay, and we are. This was our home. I got my grandkids here, and I'm glad you're here, man. You left the wars of Montgomery. You got out of that, and you're back here at home.
Even last night said I felt like I had 2 tours of duty.
North Vietnam, South Vietnam.
No, there's some great folks there in Montgomery, but the city has had its challenges in the last several years, and you know that. I mean, everybody knows that. We talk about the number of families going to Auburn or Shelby County or Baldwin County. I mean, they're just it's
sad.
It's
really
sad.
Is sad.
I mean, I know it has to for you to be your hometown there, and you drive back through, and they're just places you don't.
I told Julie, I said we're heading to Birmingham tomorrow. I said, I think I'm gonna go to my old house, and she goes, we'll get shot. We can't go through there. We'll get shot. And I sat there and listened. I said, yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. And maybe we should not go by there.
There's just been some awful, awful things that have happened there. And I mean, Abigail had a brick thrown through her van door there. I mean, we just
Great. It is what it is. We just got to keep on showing. Oh, I wanted to get into how much time we got. Oh my, break time already. He gets mad at me when I run long.
See, we got people we got to talk to that's expecting us to talk.
You're right. Thank you, sir.
We like to be on time here.
Well, I'm telling you what, I'm going to talk about J. Michael's Restaurant. I went down there yesterday. We had a great time. They had a big birthday group. A bunch of my buddies were down there, and they had their little birthday deal there. World famous J. Michael's Spaghetti was packed out for lunch. It would be packed out for dinner. And get down and try it. Only on Wednesdays, the best seafood, the coldest beer, the legendary J. Michael's. I know Beef O'Brady's had a big crew over there. They always do, every single day. But on that Wednesday, Pat Perno, they have that 10 wings aside for $9.99. They have a great job. They do a great job. I love the people that work there. They treat you like family. TVs everywhere. Great place to watch all sporting events. That is Beef O'Brady's and Lynn Haven. You get out to Lynn Haven's Beef O'Brady's. Stevenson Air Conditioning, I tell you what, we're getting ready to crank that thing up. I walked out with shorts on this morning and wasn't the right choice.
Wrong choice.
Yeah, I saw. Anyway, it is. Stevenson Air Conditioning there for me, so I'm not worried about anything. If you have any kind of problems, anytime, day or night, you call Stevenson Air Conditioning. They'll come out. Your heating and cooling unit will work perfectly. They are number one, just like South Oak Tile and Closing and Chuck Tucker. Another local guy has never left here. His business expand throughout Northwest Florida. Do what the elite realtors do. Mark Coward, Beth Mobley, they all use on multi-million-dollar homes. South Oak Tile and Closing. So should you. We'll be right back. We're going to try to get Coach Witten and just see how everything's going over at Mosley. If we can. If we can't, we'll talk more about Texas A&M Texas football tickets. Be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Dan Patrick Show. There's no billionaire who wants to be told by the regular people, hey, close the curtain. But Jerry doubled down on it. He's not going to let you tell him how to run his football team. And this is part of the problem with Jerry. That's why he got rid of Jimmy Johnson, because Jimmy got more credit than Jerry.
It's the Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings from 9 till 11. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. For this afternoon and evening, clear and a high of 63 with wind 10 to 15 miles per hour out of the northwest. Clear skies tonight, a moderate breeze and cool near 49. Sunny and 62 tomorrow. 64 and sunshine with a light breeze Saturday. Sunday sunshine and a temperature slightly warmer at 70. This is your Thursday's weather sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hello, this is Rick Wasser with RV of Panama City, your local Stormore portable building dealer, located at 2241 East Baldwin Road. Shopping for a garage, portable building, cabin, We build them anywhere from 8 to 16 foot wide, 10 feet to 60 feet long. We can do insulation, electricity, transom dormers, thermal windows. Come, let's customize a building together. Rick Vossen, Stormore Portable Building Dealer, Panama City.
This holiday season, Straight Talk Wireless is letting you say yes a lot more with real unlimited data. Yes to sharing pics of the ugliest holiday sweaters. Yes to checking weather on the go for surprise sledding trips. And with a free phone at sign up, let the yes-tivities begin.
No way!
Yes way. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart or straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 1/5/25 while supplies last at participating stores. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store activation on select single line plans. Limit of 2 phones per customer. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
If your neighbor, employer, or grandmother were traumatized by comments made on the Coach James Hale Show.
One thing, people aren't saying a whole lot about him. I'll probably get in trouble, but
just wanted to take this moment to say, get bent. We're live from the J. Michael Studio, ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Thursday is Mosley's Day. They had an incredible season this year. They won a district championship. For some whatever reason I can't even comprehend, they weren't seeded number one. The team they beat was seeded number one. It had a tough first round game. Didn't come out the way we wanted it, but we got Coach Witten on with us right now. Coach, really appreciate you coming on. I know you're busy, and I know the season's over and everything like that, but what a great team you had. What a great job you and your coaching staff did. So congratulations on a great year. Talk about what happened last week, and then we'll get into a few other things if you'd like.
Yeah, no, for sure. Obviously, like you said, played Fleming Island. Was a really good team. They were district champ, just like we were, and I thought the first half defensively we did a great job of containing the quarterback, only holding him to 7 points. Offensively, we had during that time we needed to do a better job of running the ball and controlling the clock, and really had an opportunity to separate ourselves in the first half, and we didn't take advantage of that. And they got out to a big lead in the second half. They were up, got up 21 on us. Quarterback made some dynamic plays, which we knew was going to happen. And then, I was proud of our guys. We competed. We came back and, got ourselves in a situation where we were down 7 with short time on the 2-yard line. And, obviously, one of the things, just thinking myself in that situation, we need to throw the ball twice to give ourselves more opportunities there at the end of the game. And we didn't do that. So it was just, as a coach, that's one thing that's definitely frustrating, is when you make a bad decision, when the kids played so hard to get back to that spot. But credit to Fleming Island. They did what they needed to do, and our season came to an end.
Well, real quick, if every play is designed to work. You called a play you thought would work. You did the percentages. You knew what you're doing. It just didn't happen. So it's not the coach's fault. It's not the play. It just happens sometimes that way. And the job you've done this year has been incredible. Your offense, your defense. I thought y'all did a great job this year. Jeremy, go ahead.
Well, Coach, I know it's, we want to be talking about playing tomorrow night against somebody, but I think look back at our conversation last week. You had zeroed in on a team that you had very little knowledge of. Obviously, had done your film work, knew the quarterback had some ability, knew they could score points, and we talked about the close game. The tough game, and in the moment here, the kids stepped up. You did talk about that 21-point lead where you could have thrown in the towel, but they kept clawing and kept fighting. And I know Fleming Island had been in a good number of those games over the course of the year. Y'all had several blowouts along the way, but the kids showed some resilience, some focus, some grit. With their backs against the wall. You've had a few days, kind of, to think back and reflect a little bit. But what are some of your takeaways from this ball team that you'll remember?
Definitely we had a good group of guys, fun group of guys to coach. I thoroughly enjoyed coming to work every single day. The thing that I loved about them more than anything was just their overall competitive spirit. I think, it showed itself this past Friday night when they were down. They just continued to compete and play hard, not worry about, the score or anything like that. And whenever you have a group of guys have that mindset, it makes they're really fun to coach. So that's definitely something I'll remember. And then also too, anytime you get a chance to win a championship, winning the second district championship in a row, I mean, that's something that, that will be in the halls of Mosley forever. So when those kids come back, and the work that they can be proud of, and so again, but it was a really fun group of guys to coach.
How do things begin to look for some of your seniors as far as getting to play at the next level? Do you see some opportunities and some particular guys that get a shot to keep playing?
Yeah, no, we'll definitely have some guys that have the opportunity to go on to play at the next level. Obviously we got some high end guys with Raiden and LaCavion. They'll be signing here in the next week or two in the early signing period, and then we'll also have some guys that play at other levels of college football that sign in later in February. So we'll definitely have guys, and that's something that we're working on right now as a coaching staff, is to make sure that we're giving our kids that want to play at the next level every opportunity to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And that's tough now with the transfer deal and all that kind of stuff.
They're not
it's
just
tough
competing against the freshmen.
Yeah. They're going against college athletes.
There. And as far as, even as soon as this season's over, the next season starts. And so have you, how long before you start meeting with the juniors or the rising seniors and you begin to, look at the 2025 campaign?
Yeah, so, obviously mentally as a coach, you've already started mentally started working on depth charts, working on your off-season plan. But we'll give them the rest of this week off, and then going into Thanksgiving. And then after Thanksgiving, we'll sit down and start meeting with the next group of guys and, just start talking about what our expectations are going to be, and just, starting mentally, kind of charting that path of what the next year is going to look like. So, again, football never stops. We just got to continue to find things to get better at, continue to find things. So there's always areas that we need to improve. I mean, obviously one of the things to me is most obvious is our ability to close out close ball games. Obviously we had the ability to score a lot of points and had a lot of success during the year, but the thing that's going to last in our minds is the last two games that we played were in close ball games, and we didn't find a way to get it done at the end. So that's obviously something that needs to be addressed, and something that we'll have to get better at going into next football season.
Let me ask you this, and again, you got to remember I'm older and I'm out of it, been out for a while now, but I just like the old way where it was up to me in our school. We knew what we had to do. We're in a district. We know if we win the district, we're going to be district champs. We'll host the first round playoff. And if we're the runner-up team, we're going to travel. At least I know if we make the top two teams in our district, we're in the playoffs. And it's their job to make the districts bigger instead of a three-team district. That's what they make a lot of money down there. They can figure that out. You can't make everybody happy. But to me, I just would think the coaches throughout the state of Florida would like to know how they can control it instead of this. I don't even know what y'all guys do. The point, I still don't understand Niceville not being, you beat Niceville, yet you're not the number one seed. I just don't know what they're doing. They make Bay travel all the way to Jacksonville as a district champ. Do you ever think it'll go back to the old days? You might be totally different from me. You might like it the way it is, but what's your thoughts on that?
No, I agree with you 100%. I would think, and also just my conversations with majority of the coaches in the Panhandle area are like-minded. And sadly, I don't think people in South and Central Florida, and obviously in Gainesville, where FHSA headquarters is, they don't see it the same way as we do. We would like to go to having bigger districts, which, obviously puts more emphasis on the regular season and makes those games much more important. And, again, we'd like to go back, to where each district gets, the two teams in and whoever wins the district, like you said, gets the automatic home game. Because, again, like in that situation, everything is controlled on the field. And I mean, if you did like a little bit of research, you could go throughout the state of Florida, and you could find multiple teams that had went 7-3 or 6-4 and won their beat everybody in their district, but didn't make the playoffs because of this, so-called strength of schedule.
Right.
And so, obviously the thing that all the coaches are frustrated with is we have this formula that determines how you make the playoff, but yet nobody knows what the formula is or how it works or what the variables are. So it's a bit of a guessing game, and then also the other thing too that's just really tough is when you try to make a schedule, and there is this transfer portal. Like for example, we scheduled 2 teams this past year that had big time players when we scheduled them, and then when they get in the fall, those big time players have transferred to other schools, which now drastically impacts how good that team is. So
that's a great point you just made right there. I didn't. That's something to think about.
So, will you find yourself at a football game Friday night, or do you kind of take a little time for you? What's that look like for you personally?
Oh no, definitely family time. We've been working 12-hour days for 5-6 months. So definitely time to spend some time with the boys at the house. Take Kristen out to dinner somewhere.
Very good.
Just spend some family time.
And regroup. There you go.
Well, listen, real quick, because we're running late. Did you get enough money to pay for that extra game, or do you still need some money over there?
No, that was the perk of getting that home playoff game. We make a little bit of money also too. We put some donation stuff out. Very appreciative to all the people that donated to our playoff endeavors, and like I said, I think we made a little money there right the last couple of weeks of the season.
All right, buddy. Thank you so much, Coach. We'll be talking to you throughout till we get ready for spring football. But you take care of yourself. You did a great job. Keep your head up, and I know you'll keep it rolling. Thank you, sir.
I appreciate it.
All right, let's talk about some of our great people. Talking about high school athletics, let's talk about Dr. Chad Mitchell. What a man. The guy's a legendary doctor. Listen to him every Monday right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. One of the best doctors out there. People come here for have him operate on them. He's been taking care of athletes. He just completed his 25th year. 25 years on Bay County sidelines. Love Chad Mitchell. Also, don't forget about Taco Bell. Port St. Joe Tiger Sharks, they start the playoff rounds. They start Friday night. We'll have Coach Tanner on tomorrow morning. Brian will have him on. All you Tiger Sharks, get out Taco Bell. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They got DoorDash now. They support you guys big time. Rutherford, we go over there. And we got 3 in Panama City Beach. Get out Taco Bell, enjoy yourself. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. Saw David last night. We had a great time out there. Julie and I did. Great place to have birthday parties. The best happy hour anywhere. Buy one, get one free. Draft beer, house wine, small margaritas. Go check it out. We think you'll love it. Great place to have birthday parties. We are pumped up. Thanksgiving's getting ready to happen. That Cajun place, this is what they got going on. They're going to open doors at 10:30, and they're going to seat people to around 4:30. $30 buffet, all you can eat. $25 for military personnel. If you want to get a to-go box, it's only $20. Kids 11 to 4 are $15. 3 and under eat free. Reservations, probably should call and make reservations. If not, they're going to have some walk-ins, no doubt about that. You'd probably be able to walk in, but I would call and get reservations if it was me. But they have great food. If you've never been down, I know you've been down there, but food's incredible. But this is something they've been doing, and I think you're really, truly going to enjoy it. That Cajun place on Thanksgiving Day. Now, I'll talk more about them later. You give me that look, I'll shut up. 104.3.
It's making me hungry.
ESPN. I like that black. I thought you were Elvis when I walked in this morning.
Yeah.
104.3 ESPN Northwest. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Colin Cowherd.
I think Lamar Jackson's about the most guaranteed two-point conversion in the league. But when the Steelers play him, his passer rating goes to 103 against the world and 74 against the Steelers. And they force him to be patient, and there's something about the Steelers.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Weekdays, ESPN Northwest Florida.
With over 65 years of combined experience, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to help you take your collection to the next level. They carry all the new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards and Pokemon. They sell and trade cards and are always looking to buy. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards is open 7 days a week at 752 West 23rd Street, down from Academy Sports. It can always be reached at InstantReplaySportsCards.com.
Construction is wrapping up on Panama City's newest Oyster Bar. The Local 115 opens in December on Harrison Avenue. Local drinks, local sports, and local food. Delicious oysters, crab cakes, steamed seafood, gumbos, salads, paninis, wings, wine, and cold beer. Nothing fried. That's right. No fried foods at Local 115. Amazing local food with an exciting local sports and mural theme. Eat like a local at the Local 115.
Are you tired of hearing 2 weeks when you call to get your boat worked on? Hey folks, it's Chris Kramer with Kramer Marine and Outdoor, and we'll get you in and back out on the water as quick as possible. We're a full-line Yamaha outboard dealer and Suzuki outboard dealer, and we have master-trained certified mechanics on site. So if it's just an annual service, electronics install, trolling motor install, or all the way up to a full repower, we can take care of you. So stop by and see us in the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd next to Bill Kramer GM, or call us at 850-851-0453.
College football isn't life and death. It's much more important than that. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Every time I drink that Coke, I get acid reflux. Can't do that. Listen to that music, man. You're on today, baby. Woo!
I was listening to you talk about your cold.
Yeah. Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. I gotta get off
goes
this
to Madison. You mentioned them.
Yeah, we were talking. You made a great point during the break, and so did Coach made a great point. You go make a schedule, and you think it's going to help you shrink the schedule, and then half those players on that team go to the other team in town where they live, and it winds up hurting you. The bottom line, though, the college football committee, it seems like to me their strength of schedule, they don't even count. It's like wins, losses, period, no matter regardless who you play. That's the way it looks right now. It'll probably play itself out by the end of, 2 or 3 more weeks?
But you tell me one SEC coach that wants to play in the SEC championship game right now.
Yeah, I get it. But you know what? I love what Alabama's offensive lineman said. He said, we go into our practice facility, look up on the wall. Every year we've won a national championship is up there, and it's like 18 or 19 of them. And the SEC championship's on the other side, and there's a lot more than any other school in college football in the SEC. Alabama owns the SEC. We want to add to it. So that to him, he's saying on that, I think he believes it too. To them, it's a big deal. Do you want to be a champion, and you want to be a champion of the SEC? Yeah, that's still a big deal. So I love what he said. And that's what we got to think about as Alabama fans. Because first I started thinking about what Lane Kiffin said, and I was like, well, maybe it'd be okay. Let's don't play another game. Let's just go 10-2 and get in. And then I started thinking about what Jeff Spiegel told us last Friday. He goes, well, wait a minute. You're Alabama. Playing for the SEC championship is a big deal. Winning the SEC championship is a big deal. But there's been other years we didn't win it, we didn't go to the game, and we won the national championship.
That's exactly right. And then if you wear the red and black of the Georgia Bulldogs, you run the table, have to play the SEC championship game.
That's a good point.
And missed the playoffs altogether last year.
Yeah. And everybody was raising Cain about FSU, but Georgia.
Yeah. I mean,
now, the difference, Florida State did win a championship.
Florida State did. But, and this is an old argument. I mean, you go back to 94, talk about the Alabama piece here. Alabama ran the table the regular season, and Florida wins the SEC championship that year. Jay Barker's senior year as quarterback, and it was a 1-point ball game. I think it was 24-23. And Alabama had done all they needed to do. Now, in 92, they ran the table. It worked out perfectly. But,
thanks to George Teague.
Right. But, and Antonio Langham against Florida.
Langham, that's
yeah. But 2 years later, the flip side happened. Alabama was undefeated. They go in and they lose there.
You're right. It was Langham intercept that pass.
Yeah. So this championship game cuts both ways here. And if you've got two teams heading into Atlanta with 2 losses, this committee is going to penalize you for losing a third ball game.
And the SEC commissioners made it clear that they should be rewarded, the 2 teams that played in there. And I'm going to tell you what, they better listen, because there's 2 guys that control everything. It's the commissioner of the SEC and the Big Ten. They both have made it really clear they feel like they should have at least 4 teams in. If I'm that part of the committee and you want to keep everybody else involved in it, I would make sure there were probably 4 teams from the SEC and Big Ten in there. Will they do it? Probably not.
But then you have to look at, well, who really gets in? I mean, there's some scenarios. If you're sitting on talk radio in the Midwest right now, or up in Indiana, you're sitting here thinking, okay, we just got to be respectable against Ohio State on Saturday.
They're in the Big Ten,
and we should backdoor our way into this without having to play Oregon.
Yeah.
If they go into Columbus and shock the world,
well, let me ask you this:
Ohio State's got 2 losses. Are you keeping them at the house?
Well, let me ask you this: Indiana loses 1 game to Ohio State. Ohio State's lost 1 game to Oregon. Let's say Oregon screws up, which they won't. But what if they lost 1 game?
Well, they could lose in the championship game.
Well, I'm saying before that.
Oh, yeah.
If they lost again, which they won't.
No.
I think they're already in. But if they did, you'd have 3 1-loss teams. I don't know how they picked their 2 teams to go. I don't know if they're going to fill or they're doing the same thing, the SEC or not. That would have been really weird. Who the 2 teams now going to go play? But you can just say like Ohio State. If Ohio State beats Indiana with 11-1, Indiana stays home, they get in, Ohio State loses that game to Oregon again, and they're out.
Yeah.
That would be crazy.
Yeah.
You can say the same thing about Texas.
You can say the same thing about Texas, but Texas' strength of schedule is really starting to come under some scrutiny, or lack of.
Yeah.
All
right. Let's switch gears real quick. You're talking about the committee, what they think. And let me put this in real quick. Why Alabama is a priority for ESPN, ABC. Why do they take care of them? Why do they choose them so much? And they do. They drive the ratings needle through the roof.
Exactly
when Alabama plays, people watch. When people advertise, they want their advertisement watched by a lot of people. And it's just since Nick Saban's been there, Bear Bryant, it goes back to Bear Bryant. When Alabama plays, when Ohio State plays, people watch.
Televisions are on.
And right now, that's the reason everybody think, why is Alabama playing 5-5 Oklahoma on a Saturday night primetime with the #1 ABC cast calling the game? Is because, and they said it, because they make money for their advertisement. People watch Alabama play. People watch them to lose, that hate them. People watch them that love them to win. But people watch them. And you mentioned something about the committee. Does that play in to who they select?
I have to think so.
Because you're talking big money.
Do you want the Crimson Tide rolling into Bloomington, or do you want them to go a little further north to South Bend when you send them to Indiana?
I think Notre Dame, Alabama will draw a lot of eyes.
Yeah, I really do. And don't think that those conversations aren't happening behind the scenes somewhere. I mean, they may have to say the quiet part out loud, but Alabama will turn on the televisions. But what would Alabama, Notre Dame, and South Bend in December do?
Turn on a lot of TVs. I don't know. Why did they not do this? Why did they not just go, we're going to pick the 12 best teams? Because people don't understand this selection. I didn't really comprehend it that well. You pick the 12 best teams, 1 through 4 get a bye. But that's not true. It's
not. No. The bracket right now, first round byes would go to the #1 seed Oregon Ducks, Texas Longhorns, Miami Hurricanes as the 3 seed, and Boise State would get the 4 as the non-Power 5, AQ, whatever the terms have been over the years. And so,
I thought they would get number 12. I didn't know they would get a 4 seed.
Well, the team that gets overlooked there, because all the conference champions get in. So you've got it Big Ten, SEC, ACC,
Big 12,
and the Big 12 there. But they get those. And looking at this projection here, Oregon, sitting in the catbird seat, but this particular one has Alabama staring down Notre Dame, Georgia, Penn State, Ole Miss, Indiana. I mean, pretty much what we're talking about here.
And with this one, Tennessee's ranked 11th, but they're not in the playoffs.
Yes. BYU got the 12 seed as the Big 12 champion. That's where, the BYU strength of schedule so low that Boise State actually had a higher one, because those are the 5 conference champions.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Now I got it.
Yeah.
Now I got it. But look how they messed over Tennessee. Isn't Tennessee ranked 11th or 12th? And they're out.
They're out. Texas A&M's out right now.
right now.
I mean, they're playing for their season, next week. So yeah, this is the latest projection. And
I believe the number one seed can pick the Rose Bowl or the Sugar Bowl. I think they would pick the Rose.
Oregon would go down Pasadena there.
You would think. You would think.
I mean,
I don't know. Now, listen, they're going to look down. They're going to look at. They get to look at the seeds, and they might want to go. Well, no, they'll be number one, so it wouldn't matter.
Right.
There's going to be an easier path for some of those teams.
Somebody
that might not even be the number one seed.
And look, this would be pretty exciting here. What I wish they would add to it is no two teams from the same conference can play first round.
Yeah, the best. Let's put the best in there.
No, but if you had Alabama playing Ole Miss first round, that's a knockout game in the SEC. I don't want that.
Right.
I mean, I'd rather see.
And right now, we don't have that.
No. This current projection avoids that, but there have been some that have shown, those type of matchups. So, will it be controversial? Absolutely. Not for the 1 through 4s, we've been talking about over the last years, but now 12, 13, 14. So.
Well, let's take a break. We'll come back. I'm hoping Jan and Trudy come in today from the Cajun place. Hopefully they'll be here. Around 8:30, we'll visit with them. If they do, we got to make our picks later today. We got Andy Siegel. No, we don't.
Andy Burcham. You got the first part right.
Yeah, I don't know one thing about Coach. But we got Andy coming in at 8:15, talking about the Auburn Tigers. I don't know. I just got a gut feeling they're going to upset somebody. How can you be that record and be better than that? They're the best 4-loss team in the country. You don't believe it, but I kind of they might upset Texas A&M. You don't think so?
It'll be raw because Texas A&M gets it done.
Okay, it's going to be electric there Saturday night. I'm looking forward to that ball game.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's talk about some of our great people, all the wonderful people we have. Dr. Ward went to his office. They do an incredible job. Their office throughout Northwest Florida. Skin cancer can be deadly. Get it checked. If you see something that doesn't look right, doesn't feel right, go get it checked. 5 minutes can save your life. It's worth going there and getting checked. You should do it anyway. Max Fit Sports Nutrition. You want to look better, feel better. Jason Kovaleski can make that happen for you. He'll be in here tomorrow doing a great job like he always does. They got 2 great locations, 23rd Street and Pier Park. They do a wonderful job. Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven. I love Pat. He does an incredible job. He's the best city commissioner out there, any city. The guy's incredible. He owns Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven. It's like the old days walking that old restaurant Cheers where they know your name. They treat you like family there. The food's incredible. TV's everywhere. Go watch all the college games this weekend, NFL, at Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven. Paparazzi Pizza, I love their pizza. I love their bakery, the Paradise Cake. Go check it. You'll love it. Brian told me a good story. His mother lives in Mississippi. No, I'm talking about she lives in Alabama, down south Alabama. And she listens to our show, and she goes, will you bring me a piece of that Paradise Cake? I want a piece of that Paradise Cake. He goes, all right. So he's going to take her some. He's going to take her some for Thanksgiving. That's pretty cool. All right, we'll be right back. Jeremy Pridgeon, Wildcat himself. Tommy's out killing something. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida, your home for Mike Greenberg.
If you have or attend a Friendsgiving, I don't want to be friends with you. I'm not going. I'm not interested in being invited. There's nothing on earth I'd rather do less than host one, and I think it is the dumbest concept I've ever heard in my entire life. The only worse thing than the Friendsgiving is the gender reveal.
Greenie. Weekdays on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. For this afternoon and evening, clear and a high of 63 with wind 10 to 15 miles per hour out of the northwest. Clear skies tonight, a moderate breeze and cool near 49. Sunny and 62 tomorrow. 64 and sunshine with a light breeze Saturday. Sunday sunshine and a temperature slightly warmer at 70. This is your Thursday's weather sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Welcome to our 38-year anniversary at Alford Tire and Service Center, your local leader of automotive and tire service. Here at Alford Tire and Service Center, we do a full line of shocks, struts, brakes, AC repair, as well as being your authorized Goodyear Michelin dealer. Let our friendly staff and skilled mechanics service your car or truck and get you back on the road in a timely fashion. Combined with easy financing, backed by our nationwide warranty, we've got you covered no matter where you go. Located on Tyndall Parkway in beautiful Callaway, we do it all at Alford Tire and Service Center.
Tired of flipping through channels and finding nothing good? Introducing Lucid Stream TV. Get over 2,000 live streaming channels. Catch every game of the season with over 100 sports networks, including ESPN, ESPN Plus, the NFL Network, and Red Zone. Even pay-per-view events. Watch local network channels from most major markets throughout the country. Fox, ABC, CBS, and NBC. It's more than sports. Lucid Stream TV offers premium movie channels like HBO, Cinemax, Stars, 200-plus entertainment and news networks, or watch 10,000 movies on demand, including recent theater releases. Just $41.99 a month when you use the ESPN-NW promo code at checkout. Watch on up to 5 devices at the same time. Perfect for sharing with family and friends. Lucid Stream TV gives you everything you want for less. Cut the cord, not the fun. To score Lucid Stream TV, go to ESPNPC.com and click on the Lucid Stream TV logo.
Do you know who I am?
If he was the last person on Earth,
kind of a big deal.
Mankind would still have a chance.
We may have to repopulate the Earth.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show.
I'm very important.
Live from the J. Michael Studio at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Each four I'd go. Florida State, Florida State, Florida State. Woo! Get out to newbies. I think about Florida State. I think about newbies. I think about beautiful Charlotte. And I will say this, John McVay, that sucker is a good-looking man. He is taking care of himself. He knows he shaved off his head. Now he's bald-headed. Looks good, but he's been working out, playing racquetball. If you know him, he's so competitive, it's unbelievable. I don't care what he's doing, he wants to win. That's just the way he is. And his business, he wins at business, he wins at everything he does. The guy's incredible. Great personality, will give you a shirt off his back, a wonderful man. But he looks really good, and they're doing well. You know, he hurt his back, and he's fine now. But honestly, he looks like he could play still in the NFL. I can't believe he's 60-something. I think he's 60 years old now, I think.
Wow.
He looks good. But still lifting weights. But get down to newbies. They got 4 great locations. They start, he owns some place over there in town, St. Andrews. They opened up one there. That's done really well. It's a blue building over there. And Newbies 2 on the Curve, you want to go watch all sporting events. And then, of course, the Mothership. Everybody goes down. It's a legendary place. My cousin comes down here all the time. Never sees us, but he goes there. Go out there, support them. They support the community. Charlotte's always giving back. Love her to death. She's going to have the best bands in the Southeast at the Mothership every weekend. Go check out any of the Newbies. Support them because they're always giving back to our community here. 2 great people, no doubt about that. We talked about, Coach made a great point. You go schedule a game and you think your strength of schedule is going to be pretty good, and the kids transfer out and go to another school, and you're left wishing you had a tougher schedule. Florida State, they reached out, they went shopping, they brought players in, and just like I said earlier today, they just shopped at the wrong store. It just was not what is that on them for their poor evaluations of the players? Who do you blame for that? It's got to go to the head coach. It stops with him.
Yeah, you're scouting this talent. Let's just start at the tip of the spear here, and DJ Ugalele. The fall off from Trevor Lawrence to Ugalele at Clemson.
And we all saw that.
Yeah, to go in and go, okay, this is our guy. And now we know it probably was in the man. Probably it's in Ugalele. It wasn't in Clemson and their execution as a program.
Right, exactly.
And that was a high risk piece. You've already got a lot of evidence that it pointed toward Ugalele. Because Clemson program had been solid with all the people who had come through, going back to Deshaun Watson. And so when it falls off there, what makes you think, oh, well, this is the one that can come and lead us, and we're going to make that investment? And, it was a bust.
Yeah, and that's what you heard what Saban said. You better get the right ones.
Got to get the right ones. I think the whole thing starts to unravel there.
Yeah, there's no way that you got to have a quarterback.
Yeah,
but I will say this, and people won't agree with this, but you look what they did at Indiana. He got the right ones. He brought a lot of players at James Madison to come with him that had great chemistry, that are probably above average players, and he had a weak schedule. Everything's lined up perfectly for Indiana.
Vanderbilt got the right quarterback.
Quarterback that went in and beat Auburn at Auburn.
Yeah. After doing it at New Mexico State, did it at Vanderbilt, beat Alabama. I mean, So if you find the right talent, but now it's also got a dollar value assigned to it. So if you're looking up in Tallahassee, I mean, obviously this has been a huge disappointment. None of us had this when we were talking in the summer as to what the expectations would be. This is one of those that kind of reminds me. Going back on Alabama a little bit. Remember the year we opened in the Rose Bowl against UCLA, number 3 in the nation?
Ran a punt back or kickoff back.
That was the highlight of the season.
Yeah.
I mean, it was over. Deshaun Foster, converts, 18 4th and 1s. I mean,
how many games did we win that year?
I think 3.
Yeah.
I think it was 3.
And Mike got fired.
That was it. Yeah. It has that feel to it. Just, the expectations were here.
Yeah.
And a bust.
Kind of like LSU.
LSU's struggling right now.
Yeah, it's kind of the bubble has busted. I blame Jeff. Let's bring him on. Good morning, sir.
Hey, guys.
What did you do? Did you go speak to the team? What happened?
Oh, no, we're on a streak. We're doing great. We're on a streak. 3-game losing streak.
Consistency.
Yeah. Oh, y'all are following FSU's game plan or what? Y'all probably should have never opened up week 1 those years y'all did. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I was thinking our worst enemy was opening up against a out-of-conference strong opponent in week 1, and that's not our problem now. Our problem is we got no offense, and last year was defense. It's crazy. I mean, I'm not saying
listen, Jeff, I don't think that's your problem. It's not offense, not defense. It's a locker room issue. Coaching is something's just not right about that football. They got players there. You saw the effort they gave against Alabama. Now, I will say this, they bounced back, and I thought they played a lot harder against Florida. But there's something not right about that football team. The coaches were talking to them on the sidelines. Did you watch it, Jeremy? I saw a kid walk away. It's just something's not right there.
Well, the wide receiver, Hilton Jr., he was the one, he didn't even get a chance to walk away because he was scolding him. And the problem is, if you watch the clips on Hilton, he jumps every time the ball's thrown in the air. He thinks he has to leap for the ball every time. It's crazy. It's like it's some kind of instinct that he has. He feels like he has to jump for the ball every time. It's weird. But he has to stop that because when you keep your feet on the ground, you're going to catch the ball more steadily more often. But, is the kid coachable? Is he smart enough to listen to smarter people than him? I don't know. But I'll tell you what, you lose at home against Vandy, you want to talk about a hot seat. Yeah. Oh, my God, the coach might be gone.
Yeah. There's no doubt.
That's awful.
And I'm going to tell you what, that quarterback they've got at Vandy, the Alabama, they couldn't stop Alabama's quarterback. They couldn't stop Texas A&M's quarterback. This guy's special, too. I mean, they're going to have a hard time slowing him down.
Well, what about the South Carolina quarterback that won half?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's another one.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually calling in about Florida State.
Go ahead.
I mean,
yeah.
Oh, my God. I mean, you want to talk about the biggest disappointment in all of college football, they are the one. I mean, it's not Utah. It's not, I don't even know who to even bring up after that, really.
Southern Mississippi.
I mean, Utah is definitely, NC State is another one. NC State was definitely one that was on the radar, and they totally blew it. USC, Michigan, I mean, they're all in the talks. They're bigger disappointments than LSU. But LSU is a top 10 disappointment in the nation.
No doubt.
In my opinion.
No doubt. But FSU, though, my question to both of you, will they score more than 21 points this week? I mean, if they don't, something's terrible. No, they got the worst offense.
They play Charleston Southern.
If they don't, and Charleston Southern, I think, has won one game. You look at their scores, it's pathetic.
God.
If they don't score, they ought to blow it up.
34
they ought to score
37.
They ought to score 40 or 50 points.
I think you let them score as many as they can get. I mean, I really do.
Try to get some kind of confidence with Florida coming in there. If Florida's halfway healthy, Florida plays hard now. Florida play hard.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. I when I'm not rooting for the SEC, I'm rooting for the ACC, and they kind of disappointed me this year. The whole conference as a whole, and getting one team in is a major disappointment, and that's a really good possibility right now. Because if Miami wins the conference championship, they're in, right?
Yeah.
But whoever beats them, let's say it's Clemson, because I'm pretty sure it is. Clemson's in, Miami's out. That's not good.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Yeah. Well, the Big 12 same way. I don't think they'll get. I don't think ACC is going to get one. Big 12
gets one, and then the AQ, and then everything else going to fall out to the Big 10.
I still think SEC, Big 10.
The good part about the SEC is we get what's left over because we got those 5 two-loss teams, but the Big 10 they're only getting 4 in at the most because if Indiana. Now, let me ask you a question. Indiana plays Ohio State this weekend, right?
Yep.
And we already got Penn State, Ohio State, and Oregon are in. Those 3 are in. What is the point that Indiana loses but still is able to get into the playoffs? Is it 20-point loss?
See, that's what I was thinking. If they get beat, I was thinking if they get lost by 15 or more, they'd be in trouble. I will say this: Ohio State's lost their starting offensive lineman and their starting center that transferred. Our center at Alabama. It's up at Ohio State's done a great job. No problem with snaps. He tore his, I forgot now what it was, but he's out for the year. So they got 2 of their offensive linemen out for the year. That's going to catch up. There's a reason you're second team. But no, I think if they get blown out, I think they have a hard time getting in. But you're in the Big 10. I got to give them credit. Whoever they do, their week of schedule, their strength of schedule is like 100th in the country, something like that. But they are in the Big 10, so I think they're going to get in.
Yeah.
If it's close, I think they get in.
I think a 20-point or worse loss, they're out.
Possibly, yeah.
Out.
Yeah, that could happen.
But so best scenario for the SEC is Notre Dame loses to Army maybe.
Army's the kryptonite for the whole thing here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're the bomb that's just sitting there like waiting to go off. But Indiana losing is great for the SEC, and I don't think there's really much more of wrenches to throw in the fire. But the worst scenario is Texas A&M lose to Texas, right?
Yep.
And here's the mind blower: Ole Miss losing at Florida this weekend.
Yeah, that's a good point. Hey, listen, I hate to do it. We got to take a break. Thank you so much for calling, buddy. We'll talk to you soon, Jeff.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you, buddy. All right, let's talk about some of our great people. Turpro Pest Control. You want that yard look absolutely beautiful? It can happen. Call Patrick. His crew will come out. It will look beautiful. We use that trucks throughout Bay Point. Listen to Patrick every Monday morning, 8:30 right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Wildcat, I want some jewelry. Where can I go? What can I do?
Hey, you need to go down there and talk to David Adamson. He's here from Spain. He's brought some new jewelry. They got new store hours from 10 to 2 on Saturday. And you can design it. You can get it repaired. Perhaps if you don't know what to get that special someone in your life for the holidays, for Christmas, then just design something on a piece of paper. Go down there and talk to Russ, and he can make it come to a reality. That's David Adamson, Designer Jewelry, Highway 77, Lynn Haven.
You mentioned it a minute ago. Legendary family, Vandergriffs. I mean, they are. Both of them, the parents, unbelievable. The kids, unbelievable. Well, Kyle and some partners, what have they done? They're going to open up the local 115, the local 115 next month. It's on Harrison Avenue. It's a sports-themed oyster bar. It's going to be incredible. Oysters, crab cakes, steamed seafood, gumbos, salads, soups, wings, and ice cold beer. Nothing fried, a healthier option. It's going to be open for lunch and dinner. When the season's over, we go every weekend down there to Harrison Avenue, walk up and down, have a really good time. This is going to be our new place to go have lunch. And that's not far from you. I'm sure I'll see you in there. Go check it out, and we'll let you know exactly when the grand opening will be. But I've been in there before. It's going to be something special. The local 115. And they're going to have all kind of local sports. They do a podcast down there. It's going to be really cool what they're doing. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We get back. We got Jeremy Pridgeon and the Alabama Crimson Tide.
ESPN Northwest Florida, the Paul Feinbaum Show.
The answer is it's the most valuable franchise in sports. Deion Sanders has proven his point in Boulder. Listen, it's not like I talk to Deion Sanders every day, but I'm just guessing that considering he played there, is friends with the owner, if the owner calls and says, we need you to save this franchise, Deion will take the phone call.
Paul Feinbaum, weeknights, 6 to 10 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. For this afternoon and evening, clear and a high of 63 with wind 10 to 15 miles per hour out of the northwest. Clear skies tonight, a moderate breeze and cool near 49. Sunny and 62 tomorrow. 64 and sunshine with a light breeze Saturday. Sunday sunshine and a temperature slightly warmer at 70. This is your Thursday's weather sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hey folks, Chris Kramer with Bill Kramer GM. And the best place to listen to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is inside a brand new vehicle from Bill Kramer GM. And I want you to know we've got 10 times the amount of inventory on the ground as we did this time last year, and darn near all of them are discounted. So shop us online at BillKramerGM.com or visit us at the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd. We'll make it easy and take great care of you.
WVLQ Port St. Joe, WGSX, powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome to our 38-year anniversary at Alford Tire and Service Center, your local leader of automotive and tire service. Here at Alford Tire and Service Center, we do a full line of shocks, struts, brakes, AC repair, as well as being your authorized Goodyear Michelin dealer. Let our friendly staff and skilled mechanics service your car or truck and get you back on the road in a timely fashion. Combined with easy financing, backed by our nationwide warranty, we've got you covered no matter where you go. Located on Tyndall Parkway in beautiful Callaway, we do it all at Alford Tire and Service Center.
Put down your natural light. It's time for the Alabama Update. The Alabama Update, weekday mornings at 8. On the Coach James Hale Show at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Whoa. I had Jared doing all kind of drills at a young age. All right, we are back live, ESPN Northwest Florida. Alabama Update is brought to you by Stevenson Air Conditioning. They're the most honest people I know. They do an incredible job. You want to use them and no one else. Use local people throughout the Panhandle of Florida. They're there anytime, day or night. Call them, get it serviced about every 6 months. And if you got an old one, get rid of it. All your money's been thrown out the window because your power bill's so high. They will cut it down big time. It actually will pay for itself for a period of time. So I'm grateful that I ran into Jason and went with him. They are incredible. They're number one, no doubt about that. Stevenson Air Conditioning, number one. Jeremy, what do you got for us on Alabama today?
Well, if there is a program in the Southeastern Conference that you could say is sort of a mirror image of the University of Alabama, it is the University of Oklahoma. The colors are similar. They are the game in town for the state of Oklahoma, in that there's no professional sports teams that kind of rival that in the football world. And for the first time since 2002, and just for the second time ever, Alabama's going to head west to Norman to play. Oklahoma holds the all-time lead in the series. 3 wins for Oklahoma, 2 for Alabama, and 1 tie in the old Blue Bonnet Bowl.
I remember that game.
And so the most recent game was in the Orange Bowl. It was a playoff game. Alabama won 45-34. But Oklahoma, for a time had Alabama's number. I mean, they rattled off the 3 straight wins there, winning the series home and home that we had in 02 and 03. You may remember they came into Tuscaloosa number 1 in the nation that night when Brody Croyle was the quarterback under Mike Shula, and Alabama gave them a scare, but Oklahoma won 20-13.
Fake punt.
Yep, fake punt early. I mean, a huge call by Bob Stoops.
Yep.
I was at that ball game. It was electric. And then, of course, the Sugar Bowl in 2014, after Alabama had dropped the kick 6, they didn't want to be there. I mean, then Oklahoma just ran.
I was at that one. That's when Derrick Henry had the long run.
Yeah, and they opened early, and then it collapsed quickly. So this game, when we saw the schedule come out, we said it had trap game written all over it. And Oklahoma's season has been a disappointment. They're 1-5 in the SEC right now, 5-5 overall. So that's not meeting the expectations. This really could be their sort of Super Bowl. You're going to get their best effort for the chance to be spoiler. The weather, Saturday night, 54 with winds of 15 to 25 miles an hour. So Alabama's air game, even Oklahoma's passing attack, which has been
Oklahoma doesn't have it, so that favors Oklahoma.
It is an equalizer for Oklahoma. If you look there, Alabama may have to just grind it out a little bit, and it raises the old question. People will be watching lots of ball games, maybe not watching this one as closely as perhaps some others, but we have this discussion that factors in, and I don't like it, but you have to consider it. If you didn't get to watch the whole ball game and you pull up the scores on Saturday or Sunday morning and Alabama does win, but it's 24-10, are you sitting there going, well, that wasn't an impressive win? It was style points, going back to those subjective
24-10 at Oklahoma, 2 weeks for Oklahoma to get prepared for Alabama. I'd say I'd take that right now.
Okay, but
now the committee, no,
right. What happens if it's 17-10, one score ball game? I mean, remember,
what's it down to now? 14?
I think it's 14.
Yeah.
But does Alabama need to go out and put up the 35-40 points?
No,
don't think so.
Just win.
Just win. Okay, so just think just win. And it's a curious question because with everything knotted up as it is, maybe one of those questions that could factor in, particularly if Missouri loses and Alabama's sitting on the outside of the SEC championship game, and then they're trying to figure out which two lost teams get in. I think, or at least where they're seated. So Alabama is favored. They should, trend well, take care of business.
Do you remember the Tennessee game? Tennessee had scored all these points, been offense looked incredible. They go in there and they could hardly move the ball.
That's right.
Oklahoma's got a defense. That guy is a great coach. He's going through the thing with his wife having cancer.
He is a defensive-minded coach.
I think it's going to be a really tough game. I do.
Brent Venables knows defense.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's been against. Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
That's what he did on the sidelines for Clemson forever.
But with Jeremy, if you had 2 weeks to get ready, what do you do if you're Oklahoma's offensive coordinator, getting ready for Bama's defense? Do you, let's run the ball? We haven't been able to throw the ball anyway. What do we do? What do we do?
The formula for any upset when you are the underdog, you got to shorten the game and you got to hold on to the football.
Yeah.
And in this environment with the clock running as much as it has, I mean, you look at time of possession, the teams that have been able to pull it off have kept the ball. I mean, Vanderbilt, I'd be pulling every bit of Vanderbilt's game film.
Yeah, no doubt. And they have.
Yeah.
I mean, they're good coaches. I think it's going to be a very competitive game. I'd be thrilled if it's 24-10.
Yeah. So tough night coming up, Saturday night, and then, of course, the Iron Bowl. But it is if Alabama takes care of business, they're in. The larger question mark becomes that SEC championship game as to who has to go to Atlanta.
Let me ask you this, because I've been calling week one of the season. I said A&M's going to upset Texas. If they're healthy, I think they do it.
Can you imagine that environment at Kyle Field?
It's going to be electric.
Yeah.
If they do, who would you rather Bama play?
Oh, you'd rather play Texas A&M.
Or Texas A&M.
Yeah. I think you'd rather play. I think both matchups are good matchups for Alabama. That there's no mystique matters around Alabama Texas after the game last year. I mean, this would be the third consecutive year for Alabama and Texas to play. It's not like you're looking across and you're at least bit intimidated if it's the Longhorns.
And it'll be played in Atlanta.
It'll be played in Atlanta. Virtual Alabama home game at that point.
But have you seen all year? Everybody's got players, and there's no guarantees at all that Bama gets to Atlanta. We don't know what's going to happen.
No.
And it might play itself out where we don't have 4 or 5 teams trying to get in. It might be down to 3. We don't know.
Could be. Yeah, could be. So Alabama basketball picked up a win over Illinois, and they're off to a good start. So a lot to look forward to once we get the hardwood as our main focus. So,
we got about a minute. What do you think right now? If you had to bet money at the end of the year, who's going to have a better basketball team, Alabama or Auburn?
I think they split. And I think both of them probably get to Sweet 16. I mean, I can see that happening pretty easy.
Yeah.
But I think they probably split. It's just tough to go on the road in the SEC.
Auburn's pretty good now.
And you go to Auburn Arena, that's going to be crazy. But when they come back to Coleman, equally. So
No doubt about it. Hey, Stevenson Air Conditioning, number one. Appreciate Jason and his crew. Appreciate the Alabama update. Anytime you have a problem and you want to get service right now, it's getting ready to get cold. You want to get service, it's going to run better. It's going to save you money in your power bill. Go with a local company. Go with locals, okay? They grew up here. They went to Mosley High School, graduated from there. This company, family-owned, they do an incredible job. Stevenson Air Conditioning, number one. It's not even close. They do a fantastic job. Make sure you use them. We know people that are thrilled with the work that they do. Also, South Oak Tile and Closing and Chuck Tucker, they do an incredible job. Mark Cowart, 38, he sells multi-million-dollar homes. They always use Chuck Tucker. So should you. Demand Chuck Tucker. That's who you want to go with. South Oak Tile and Closing and no one else. They do a great job. The legendary J. Michael's Restaurant, the best seafood, the coldest beer. Go check it out. We think you'll love it. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. Right across the street from the Navy base. You love Mexican food? That's the place to go. They got a great happy hour. Great place to have birthday parties. Tonight is karaoke. And I'll tell you another place, that Cajun place, what they've got going on for Thanksgiving. Now, Saturday morning, I will not be there, but the crew will be there. We go down there every Saturday morning. I've got to go to Birmingham, so I won't be there. But everybody else will be. Glenn, Jason Kovaleski, Brian, everybody will be down there. They got the best wings anywhere. They got the best desserts, beignets, bread pudding, the best seafood. Try the chicken gumbo. It's the best I've ever had. But what I love it, what they're going to do at the Cajun place, they're going to open on Thursday, Thanksgiving. They're going to open at 10:30. They're going to probably quit sitting people around 4:30. It's $30 buffet, all you can eat, $25 for military personnel, $20 if you get a to-go box, and $15 for kids 11 to 4. Three and under, eat free. I'd call and make reservations if I were you. The food's incredible. You'll love it. Last year they did it. I mean, this is something good. You're going to love their Thanksgiving there at that Cajun place. We'll be right back. 104.3. Andy Bertram, Auburn Tigers, 104.3. Yeah, do it. But somebody died. Their original drummer or something.
No. We went through this a couple of weeks ago.
I just saw it. Did they lie?
They lied.
Oh no, not the singer. The original drummer. Yeah, that's possible. That's possible.
This just in. Get the latest sports news, scores, and updates from 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Follow us on Facebook for exclusive content, behind-the-scenes action, live streams, and the chance to interact with your favorite hosts.
Stay connected. Stay connected. Stay connected.
Join the conversation on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Search for ESPN Northwest Florida and crush the follow button.
I follow you on social media.
We're always here to keep you in the game.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. For this afternoon and evening, clear and a high of 63 with wind 10 to 15 miles per hour out of the northwest. Clear skies tonight, a moderate breeze and cool near 49. Sunny and 62 tomorrow. 64 and sunshine with a light breeze Saturday. Sunday sunshine and a temperature slightly warmer at 70. This is your Thursday's weather sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Ellis Agency Insurance has been serving Panama City and Bay County for years. They offer a full line of affordable insurance coverage of all types. Many people are attracted to Ellis Agency Insurance because of their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Call independent agent Johnny Ellis for a true comparison of your personal or business insurance. Ellis Agency Insurance at the Old Cullen Insurance location, 1134 Harrison Avenue, across from Dandy Donuts and Deli. Call 763-1627.
Is your restaurant looking a little tired from the long off season? Is your office a little offish? Start the new year off right by giving them a fresh start. Fresh Start Cleaning is now accepting new clients. Ask about their complimentary hood cleaning services. Fresh Start Cleaning. Get clean again with Fresh Start. Call 850-771-6917, 771-6917, and ask about their complimentary hood cleaning services.
When he played football, helmets had not been invented yet. Players played both sides, and quarterbacks weren't afraid of needles. It's the Coach James Hale Show, live from the J. Michael Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. And now, War Eagle. Live from the J. Michaels studio, it's the Auburn Update and the Coach James Hale Show with the voice of the Auburn Tigers, Andy Burcham. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Eagle. Hey, Martha, Kenny, James, Jenna, all you Auburn Tigers throughout the Panhandle, Florida. Everybody's waiting for today. Every Thursday, 8:15, the voice of the Auburn Tigers, Andy Burcham. And I tell you what, I listened to him last week. He does an incredible job. Great job. I thought Auburn looked the best they've looked all year. We got him. Let's bring him on right now. Andy Burcham. Andy, how you doing, sir?
James, are doing very well. It's a beautiful, beautiful day in Auburn, getting ready for a huge, huge weekend, final home game of the season.
Yep.
And my beautiful daughter will be covering that game, and she says it's going to be cold, and she's looking forward to it. 6:30 kickoff on ESPN. We ask you to turn down the volume. Watch it on TV, but listen to Andy Burcham. I think you'll enjoy it a lot more. Andy, let's jump into the – well, no, let's go back to last week's game, watch the game. I thought it's the best Auburn looked all year. I thought the game plan was good. Thorne did a great job, the five-star receivers. What's your take on last week's game? What did you think?
Well, from start to finish, it was probably Auburn's best game of the season. It's hard to beat the second half at Kentucky, but from the start to the finish last week, I thought Auburn was in control of the game from the get-go. After a week where he did not practice in the off week, Peyton Thorne throws for 5 touchdowns, and ties an Auburn record. Cam Coleman with 3 touchdown catches, Malcolm Simmons with another, and Keandre Lambert-Smith with the 5th on the day. 100-yard day for Jarquez Hunter, and he goes over 1,000 yards on the season. And with really the exception of one breakdown defensively, where a cornerback fell, setting up the last touchdown, I just thought Auburn controlled the game. Auburn did a good job against the run game, did a good job against Ahmad Hardy. They're a very, very good freshman tailback. Got a better kicking game with the new walk-on Ian Vachon coming in for Auburn. So it was hard to beat Auburn this past Saturday, and they'll have to play even better this Saturday night.
Well, I'm glad you brought up the kicking game because they actually made a field goal. I mean, that's good. And now, as this guy continue to kick, will he be the starter going forward?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he will.
Okay, good. All right, let's jump into Texas A&M. The key for me, the game, I've watched A&M play this year. I think their defensive front's outstanding. But some of the numbers don't match that. But they've had 73 tackles for loss in the last 10 games, the 10 games they played this year. 10th best rushing defense in the SEC. But for negative plays, they're outstanding. They allow 124 yards per game. What do you think? To me, it's Auburn's offensive line versus those front guys. If they can protect the quarterback, they can open lanes to run the ball. What's the key to you? What's your take on this game?
I agree with you, James. I think the key is Auburn's offensive front against a very good defensive front for Texas A&M. They're big and physical up front. They're athletic, as they always are, and their numbers are impressive, especially the tackles for loss this season. And they get to the quarterback. They make the plays behind the line of scrimmage. And when Auburn is unsuccessful on first down, it becomes very, very tough for the Tigers in a game. To me, first down is just an incredible key for the Tigers this Saturday night. Auburn cannot be in a situation where it is 3rd and long. If you do that against A&M, you're really in some trouble, in my opinion.
You're absolutely right. I had that first thing I had. First down's critical. I wouldn't care if they ran the ball every single play on first down. Just get some positive yards. Don't get behind on the sticks. Andy, am I crazy? Because this week I said I just got a gut feeling that Auburn's going to upset one of these two teams. Now, the game was played in Auburn. I'd feel a lot better, the Iron Bowl, but that game's played in Tuscaloosa. This game is the last home game. This could be Hugh Freeze's biggest win. I know it's going to be electric there. And we had talked early in the year, actually during the summer, trap games. I thought maybe this A&M game would be a trap game for Auburn. They got Alabama next. We talked about Oklahoma being a trap game for Alabama. They got Auburn next. But maybe this is a trap game for Texas A&M. They got Texas next. The coach made a comment. Everybody jumped on him about, he mentioned Texas, not Auburn. I just think he just slipped up. I know they're not taking Auburn for granted. Auburn's the best team in the country with 4 losses. They've beat themselves in games. Am I crazy to think Auburn has a chance in this football game?
No, I think Auburn does have a chance. I mean, just take a look at the betting line, and I don't talk about that ever. But the fact that this is a minus or is under a 3-point difference in Vegas is telling to me.
Yeah.
And the fact that A&M's down to its second-string tailback. Now he's a good one, but the fact that they're down to that, and they're here at Auburn. They do have Texas next week in College Station, and everybody there has circled that game.
Right.
Just like everybody at Auburn circles the Iron Bowl or the Georgia game.
Right.
So I think it all sets up for Auburn to have a grand opportunity to get that win against the top 25, as it turns out. It'll be a top 15 game, and Auburn's had chances against Oklahoma. It's had chances against Missouri, both of those games. Auburn should have won both of those games. And I think Auburn's just playing a little bit better right now. Certainly coming off of last week's game against ULM. But again, they're going to have to be even better against A&M than they were against ULM.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Andy, to me, this is coming down to the very point you mentioned of Auburn's first down execution. And key to that is getting at least second and medium, but certainly not second and long or even behind the sticks. Because if you look at where A&M slipped up, it was South Carolina. As went on the road, that's an electric place to go play. Fan base is rabid. A lot of similarities between Williams-Brice and Jordan Hare. But South Carolina's offense seems a little more potent. So I think you've sized it up fairly well as to the Auburn offensive matchup against Texas A&M defense.
I don't think there's any question, and I think Auburn fans have been waiting for a nighttime game of Jordan Hare as well.
Yeah.
In a big atmosphere. And it's going to be chilly. You're right. I mean, dress your layers on Saturday night, because it's going to be really chilly at Jordan Hare Stadium. But Auburn has played a ton of these 11 o'clock games of late.
Mm-hmm.
And that takes a toll, I think, on the fan base. And I think Auburn fans are ready for a nighttime game, and they're ready for a game as big as this one is. I know this team is, and talking with some of the seniors this week that are getting ready to make that final ever Tiger walk down Donahue and come out of that tunnel in the south end zone for the last time in their career. Auburn is not, there will be no problem for Auburn to get up for Texas A&M. From a fan perspective, from a game perspective, from the band, the cheerleaders, doesn't matter. Yeah. From the radio guys, we're going to be ready.
Yeah, I think Auburn's defense has played well all year, and I think they keep it close in the fourth quarter, which gives them an opportunity to pull the upset. I do. I think Auburn's defense is going to play lights out. Mm-hmm. Like you said, they're thin at running back. That second, he was the second-team quarterback. I don't know who they're going to start this week, but I saw him against LSU. He can run the football great. He's not a great passer. I think it's going to be a great game. And what you talked about earlier, the kicking game, it could come down to a field goal. It was great seeing them make a field goal. That could happen. I'm looking forward to it. I just got a gut feeling they're going to do something. I really do. I've been wrong before, but I got a feeling. They looked good last week. I was impressed. I really was. What about Andy? What about injuries? Did he come out with that Wednesday report? What did you see on the A&M side that stuck out? Anything on the Auburn side that stuck out with the injury reports on Wednesday?
I'll be honest with you, James. I've not seen the injury report yet. I'm getting ready to head inside Neville Arena for an event that the Hudson Family Foundation puts on every year, where they bring in 1,200 kids from across Lake County, school children, and they treat them to a morning at Neville Arena, and then they give all of these children a gift certificate for Thanksgiving lunch for their families. So I'm getting ready to go in and MC that. So I haven't even been in the office yet.
Okay.
Take a look at that report. So I've not seen it. I'm not aware of any potential injuries for Auburn yet. Does that mean that there isn't going to be some? But I just haven't seen anything at this point.
Okay. Real quick, we don't have much time. That's okay. I grew up in that state, followed both teams, and it was like football's the king. But I never thought I'd see a time when both basketball programs were ranked this high and even better than the football programs right now. But Auburn basketball, talk about that real quick. I mean, they look good.
Well, as a matter of fact, they're on their way to the Atlanta airport right now to catch a flight to Hawaii, where Auburn plays in the Maui Invitational starting Monday night. Tigers are undefeated on the season, and we'll get Iowa State Monday night at 8:30 Central Time. And so the potential for Auburn there is this: Iowa State, North Carolina, and UConn in back-to-back-to-back nights. Now, everything has to work out for that to happen.
Wow.
But that's a potent three teams that Auburn could be facing in Maui. And then basketball comes back from Hawaii, and the following Tuesday goes to Duke for that Wednesday night game at Cameron Indoor. So these next four games are crazy in the non-conference for this Auburn team. So I'm looking forward to seeing what this Auburn team does. Away from home for a while. Auburn's not back at home until December 8th. But, boy, it has certainly played very, very well early on this season.
Did you volunteer to fly out there Sunday and come on back Wednesday, or are you going to stay in Auburn?
No, I am flying out early early Saturday morning, and then I'll be flying back all day Thanksgiving and Friday night, or the early morning hours on Friday to get back for the Iron Bowl. So
wow,
I get out of here early Sunday morning, and I get back. I'm scheduled to get back to Atlanta about 6 o'clock Friday morning.
Unbelievable. You're the hardest working man I know in radio. God bless you, man. We love you. Thank you for coming on. We'll talk to you next week. No, Andy, I take that back. We will not be on the air next Thursday on Thanksgiving, so we'll talk to you after the Iron Bowl. Have a great
that sounds good.
Thanksgiving. Thank you so much, sir. Appreciate you, Andy.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving.
War Eagle, the legendary Andy Brown. What a great man.
Yeah,
he
just
is such
solid
a good
guy.
Can you believe that? He's calling the game Saturday night in Auburn, get up and fly to Hawaii. And come on back when you say Thursday, come back. So he might even have a Thanksgiving. Who knows?
Yeah.
Well, I guess he'll fly back with the team, though.
Possibly. Yeah.
I should have asked more questions. But anyway, let's talk about some of our wonderful people. Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven. You want a great meal today? That's only one place to go if you're over in Lynn Haven. That's Beef O'Brady's. Go check it out. You'll love it. The food. Try out that Cuban sandwich. I love the Cuban sandwich there. They got the 10 for 10 going on, and every Wednesday they got 10 wings on the side for $9.99. Beef O'Brady's, Lynn Haven. Go check it out. Pat Pernod, we love you, brother. Great city commissioner over there, and that restaurant's incredible. Beef O'Brady's, Lynn Haven. Also, Taco Bell. Thank you for the local updates for Port St. Joe Tiger Sharks. We'll have them on tomorrow. They start their first round of the playoff games. Hopefully they'll do well. Coach Tanner will be on the show tomorrow. But if you're down there at Tiger Sharks, get to Taco Bell, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They do DoorDash now also. And we got 3 great locations in Panama City Beach and Callaway. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents the most college basketball.
Three-pointer, punch it in. College basketball is back.
The Panhandle's destination for live play-by-play.
The SEC, ACC, and beyond.
Oh, you saw that coming, Radford.
The biggest games play right here.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
People ask all the time, who the heck is Low Cost Airlines? Well, we're not just one airline. When you're talking to us, you're talking to everyone. We are the discount supermarket for all airline tickets. Plus, we have all the airlines and always have the best prices. American, Delta, United, plus all the specialized international airlines and a lot more. And we make it easy. We guarantee you'll talk to a live human in 60 seconds. You can have the rates you need and have your trip booked in 5 minutes. Now, how cool is that? And remember, when you're talking to us, it's like talking to every single airline available with one fast phone call. All you need to do is call and find the best prices to fly wherever it is you want to go. So are you ready? Call Low Cost Airlines right now. 800-708-3092. 800-708-3092. 800-708-3092. That's 800-708-3092.
Time to let the big dogs eat.
How about that answer by Georgia? The end zone, touchdown, Georgia!
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio, ESPN Northwest Florida.
All right, we're welcome back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest for the great Andy Burcham. If you've never listened to him call a game, you're missing something. Even if you're not an Auburn fan. And again, this week, Auburn at A&M. Listen to him on the radio, watch it on TV. He is such a wonderful person. I love that man. I want to go this real quick, and hopefully Jane and Trudy will come by today if they can. Saturdays Down South, what they're predicting to happen in their bowl projections this past week. Here's what they have. It's kind of shocked me. They had Oregon playing in the Sugar Bowl. Listen to this. And I don't know, and there is something to this. I remember someone talking about it. I just can't remember the details. You could see on Ohio State, Oregon pick the Sugar Bowl somewhere else and not the Rose Bowl because of seedings or something. I don't know. I don't understand it, but there's some reason for it.
Okay.
I don't see it. If I'm in Oregon, I'm Ohio State, I want to go to the Rose Bowl. That's what you've always been tied to, the Big Ten, the Pac-12. Now, I would see a team for the Big Ten want to come to the Sugar Bowl. It's a little bit closer, I would think.
Yeah.
But anyway, they got Oregon going to the Sugar Bowl versus the number 8 and 9 winner. In the Rose Bowl, they predict Alabama will play in the Rose Bowl. They'll play the winner of number 7 and number 10 seed teams. And would you go to that?
Having just been to Pasadena, probably not. I mean, we had a great time against the Michigan game, but, you know. Yeah. But when are they going to play in the Rose Bowl again?
That's true.
Yeah.
Peach Bowl, you got Miami versus number 6, 11 seed team. The Fiesta Bowl, you have Colorado, Deion Sanders, give him credit, versus the 5 or 12 winner. Now, I don't know if that's a good thing for Colorado or not, because the number 5 seed team right now, and they're a beat-up football team. They're not the same team they were, especially with the offensive line. 5 seeds Ohio State Buckeyes. Now listen here, we got a rematch right now versus number 12 Indiana.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
I don't like that either. That'll be a low-rated ball game.
Number 6, the Georgia Bulldogs at home versus the 11th ranked team or seeded team, Boise State.
Okay.
Number 7, Notre Dame will play at home, and they'll play number 10, the Tennessee Volunteers.
Interesting.
Yeah. Number 8, at home in Oxford, Mississippi, Ole Miss versus number 9, Penn State, a rematch of last year's Peach Bowl.
Howdy-toddy.
Yeah. So then you got Georgia, you got Tennessee, you got Ole Miss, you got Alabama. You don't see Texas anywhere.
No Texas.
That strength of schedule catch them with 2 losses?
With 2 losses, it may just catch them.
That's what they're saying. Citrus Bowl, they got Texas A&M versus Illinois. The Quest Bowl, they got the Texas Longhorns versus Iowa. Las Vegas Bowl, they got South Carolina versus Arizona State. Texas Bowl, you got Arkansas versus Texas Tech. Music City, you got Missouri versus Michigan. Gator Bowl, you got Florida versus Louisville. Liberty Bowl, LSU versus Kansas State. The Birmingham Bowl, you have Vandy versus Cincinnati.
Okay.
So that is what Saturdays Down South predict. We got a caller?
I think they're a little off.
Yeah, I do too. I think they're way off. To be honest with you. All right, let's take this call. Good morning.
Go Blue Track Series.
Hey, good morning. Buckeye boy, what's going on?
There's some static on the line.
No, not the Buckeye boy.
Oh.
But hey, so if Michigan plays in the Music City Bowl, I'm doing some scouting right now. Ticket, hotel St. David, where we stay right downtown.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
Hotel prices at the Hilton Nashville downtown. It's an all-suite hotel right across from Bridgestone off of Broadway.
Yeah.
Ticket prices ain't that bad considering it's New Year's Eve. You know, and they do all like the TV specials on Broadway, like at Old Red and all that. You know, and they have the park, so they're not bad, but probably still too expensive to you because you're a cheap banjo. So anyway, you know, just saying. But
did you get a price of them? How much think it's going to be?
Well, I get it free because I got points and I got free nights.
I'm talking about the common folk like me and Jeremy.
I can see what I can do.
All right. All right, like, real quick.
Well, why would the preacher want to go see Michigan? He wouldn't want to go.
I saw that in January. That was enough.
He wants to go pray for him. That's what
they broke our hearts in the Rose Bowl.
Jeremy wants to pray for him.
Hey, let me get this in real quick, Michigan Eddie. We're going to make our picks here in a minute. Florida State is favored over Charleston Southern. They average 13 points a game.
Did you ever think you would have that as a question?
No. Did you ever think FSU would only average 13 points a game?
No.
FSU has not scored more than 21 points all year. FSU has not crossed the 16-point mark in the last 9 consecutive games. You realize that they haven't scored more than 16 points the last 9 consecutive games. They haven't even got to 16. That's embarrassing. So anyway, they only scored 3 points against Notre Dame. FSU is a 33.5 point favorite over Charleston Southern. The over/under in the ball game is 44.5. FSU is 1-9. Charleston Southern's 1-10. Charleston Southern has scored 20-plus points only 4 times this year. Now, this is what they average against a lot weaker competition. They average 14.8 per game. They run the ball. They run the option offense, which eats the clock up, which could give a defense some trouble. Kickoff of the game is 12:30 on the ACC network. The question to both of you guys, do they score more than 21 points?
Yeah.
Michigan Eddie?
Barely. And I would not be surprised if they're upset.
Wow.
All right. You would not be surprised. I would be shocked if they lose to Charleston Southern. They would fire everyone there.
That's just the way the year's going, though, for them. That's why I'm not shocked. It's like it can't get any worse.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Well, it could. They lose.
How many empty seats at Doak Campbell this weekend?
They were talking about all the people in Florida buying up tickets for the next. What time's kickoff for the Florida State-Florida game?
It'll be 6 or 6:30.
Yeah.
It'll be a night game.
Oh, Kirby Smart does not believe the committee, the college football committee, uses the eye test in his rankings. Georgia killed Texas 31-17. Texas is number 3. Georgia lost Alabama when they were ranked, I think, 4th or 7th. They lost also to Ole Miss at Ole Miss, that's ranked 8th in the country right now. They've played the toughest the schedule in the country, especially on the road. Texas, Alabama, and Ole Miss. The 3rd-ranked team, the 7th-ranked team, the 8th-ranked team. I don't think they favor the Big Ten. I don't think they value the Big Ten over the SEC. I think they value wins and losses, not the eye test. I don't think they understand playing what it's like to play in the SEC. I think he hit it out of the ballpark. I thought he said exactly the truth.
It's been that way the entire time with the committee.
All wins. It's not strength. They tell you strength of schedule, which is a bunch of crap. It's all about winning ball games. So I'm saying join the Big Ten, play an easy schedule like Indiana, and you got it made. I said to make you mad.
Yeah, I know, because we took the playbook right out of the SEC. You know what I mean? But I'll tell you, next week I might go to that Florida State game if it doesn't have a football tournament.
You should.
I might take Bubby, because Bubby's coming home for Thanksgiving from Gainesville. So we might go over there and see that, because tickets are going to be cheap, because Florida State fans probably ain't going to go, so we'll see. Hey, but I want to talk to you about something real quick. A lot of talk about Army throwing a wrench and a bomb, so to speak, into the college football playoffs, and everybody wants Army to win, because they're military, they're West Point, blah, blah, blah. Well, you heard it here. I want them to lose. If the Air Force Academy's not getting into the playoff, I don't want Army, and I definitely don't want Annapolis getting in.
Isn't that kind of a terrible attitude to have, Jeremy?
No, it's not. I'm an Air Force Academy guy. I'm an Air Force guy.
You're a military. You're a United States military. You pull for all military schools.
Knock it off. Knock it off.
All military schools.
Knock it off. All I got to say is this. When it comes to competition on the field, on the
Army
arena and all that, I'm Air Force. Go all the way, baby. Now, if we're fighting in combat, that's a different story. But this is competition on the gridiron and on the ice or whatever. Go Air Force all the way. I hope Army, Navy lose all the time, all day.
If he cuts down one of the military schools again, hang up on him. Okay?
I don't care. I got my wings at Navy Pensacola. I love the Navy. My sister was in the Army. My uncle fought on Hamburger Hill. My uncle Russell was PT 109 with JFK. So you know what? I mean, I'm all about the military. But when it comes to picking my alma mater, heck yeah, go Air Force, baby. Lose Army, lose Navy.
All right,
the seamen.
We got to take a break.
Right,
we got to do our picks real quick, Jeremy.
We do.
Hey, did I serve the pot pretty good there?
You're awesome. You know what?
His face is red, Eddie.
You really got my blood boiling, bad mouthing Army. Anyway, let's talk about some of our great people. I love you, Michigan. Real quick, I want to remind everybody what's going on Thursday at the Cajun Place on Thanksgiving Day. 10:30, and Michigan, he loves the place down, by the way. He spent a lot of money down there last Saturday or Saturday before.
Well, you don't have to broadcast that.
10:30. You didn't buy my meal, though. That's what I'm upset about.
You're cheap.
10:30. And then I think you're going to quit seating around 4:30. It's $30 all you can eat buffet. It's going to be $25 for military personnel, $20 for a to-go box, $15 for kids 11 to 4 and under 3. They eat free. Reservations, I probably would make reservations. You don't have to, but I think I would. They will take some walk-ins. It will be packed out. The food's incredible. Great atmosphere. They do such a wonderful job down there. The food's incredible. That's on Thanksgiving Day, that Cajun Place. Try it out. I think you will absolutely love it. 11 o'clock, our crew will be down there watching Ole Miss, Florida, Ohio State, Indiana. Wear your colors, the best wings, $5 pitchers, great food, great atmosphere. That Cajun Place on Thomas Drive. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Go. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Go, go, go.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
We're good. 78's young now. Look at Wildcat. Hell, he's 83.
You were in the Commodores, weren't you? Back in Tuskegee?
Well, what happened there in the Commodores when we started out in Tuskegee? We started traveling. We started going. It was some rough places when we started going out. I wasn't accepted in some of them. I didn't get it. I was like, what's different with me?
Weekday mornings 7 to 9. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. For this afternoon and evening, clear and a high of 63 with wind 10 to 15 miles per hour out of the northwest. Clear skies tonight, a moderate breeze and cool near 49. Sunny and 62 tomorrow. 64 and sunshine with a light breeze Saturday. Sunday sunshine and a temperature slightly warmer at 70. This is your Thursday's weather sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Mahalo Grounds is the newest coffee bar on PCB's East End. Conveniently located beside Cartona at the Hathaway Bridge, 7131 West Highway 98, Panama City Beach. Mahalo Grounds provides small batch, fresh roast coffee and espresso drinks. Their beans are from a small batch roaster out of Apalachicola, Bayside Coffee. Whether you are wanting a double espresso or a seasonal latte, they have you covered. Come experience the difference in coffee artistry at Mahalo Grounds.
Ellis Agency Insurance has been serving Panama City and Bay County for years. They offer a full line of affordable insurance coverage of all types. Many people are attracted to Ellis Agency Insurance because of their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Call independent agent Johnny Ellis for a true comparison of your personal or business insurance. Ellis Agency Insurance at the Old Cullen Insurance location, 1134 Harrison Avenue, across from Dandy Donuts and Deli. Call 763-1627.
For everything in the world of golf, it's the Watson Report. Thursdays at 4:20 with Alan Watson from Golf Plus. ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio.
Welcome back. 104.3 ESPN North. Okay, great job today, Wildcat, as usual. Wonderful.
Just trying to have some fun.
You are the man, the myth and legend. And we got the people's callers on the phone with us right now in Michigan. Hey, let's get into these picks really quick. Wake Forest at Miami. Who say you, Jeremy Prison?
Miami.
I'm with you.
Big.
Miami, I'm with you. All right, Citadel, Clemson. Everybody's got Clemson. Michigan, Eddie, the easy ones I'm not asking you. Charleston Southern at FSU. I got FSU will blow them out.
FSU.
Okay.
No, I'm picking Charleston Southern.
Well, this is for the professionals. This is not for the amateurs. Oh, okay. We'll put you down.
He's throwing a Hail Mary.
Okay, so Michigan, he picked Charleston Southern. Penn State at Minnesota. What's going to happen in this one? Does James Franklin mess it up, or does he keep it rolling?
My Penn State friends are nervous about this.
They should be.
Yeah. I like it. It's indoors. It's 72 degrees. It's very pleasant. Penn State takes care of business.
I'm with you. I think Penn State. He didn't mess it up this year. What say you, Michigan, Eddie?
Penn State.
Northwestern at the very weak football team, Michigan Wolverines. Not the same. It's falling apart. Death penalty is coming. Who you like?
Michigan gets it done.
Michigan gets it done. I go Michigan upsets Northwestern.
Yeah.
Who you like, Michigan, Eddie?
I'm going with Michigan. They'll get. They got to win, or they're not making a bowl. Also, I'm changing my pick. I'm picking Minnesota over Penn State. It's at Minnesota outdoors. They don't play in the
they go into the dome anymore. They went outdoors. You're right. That's right.
Yeah. So they play at TCF Bank Field or whatever it's called. Beautiful stadium. I'm picking Minnesota to pull the upset because Minnesota has been playing well of late. So I'm picking Minnesota to beat Penn State, and Franklin's going to Franklin. Just saying.
Indiana. I'll just come back to that one. Kentucky, Texas. Everybody got Texas? Any way Texas screws this up?
Nope.
UTEP, Tennessee. Everybody got Tennessee.
Yep.
Everybody's got South Carolina. UMass, everybody's got Georgia. I'm going to the easy ones right now. Everybody's got Arkansas, Louisiana Tech.
Yeah, I'll take Arkansas, La Tech.
I got Arkansas also. Okay, now the tough ones. Auburn, Texas A&M and Auburn. Does Auburn pull the upset?
No.
All
right, so you guys got Texas. I'm going Auburn pulls up.
I mean, you heard their coach. They're totally focused.
I'm going to call Auburn. I just got a feeling they're going to do it.
You think that Jeremy
I had this feeling all year. I've been wrong every single time. I'm letting you try to catch up with me, Jeremy. I beat you. I had 11-11 last week. You had 10 of 11. All right. Ole Miss at Florida. Huge football game. I'd love to pick Florida. I think Lane Kiffin wants that job. I think he's going to put it on him if he can. If he starts his usual crazy stuff going for it on his side of the field, Florida could pull the upset. I think Ole Miss wins.
Ole Miss.
Who say
Florida.
You? Got Florida. Okay. I would love that. Vandy at LSU. I don't know what LSU team shows up. If they fold the tents, are they done?
Yeah, I think they are. I actually like Vanderbilt in this ball game.
You're going to go Vandy?
I like Vandy. I think the wheels have come off in Baton Rouge.
Who you got there, Michigan Eddie?
Well, I'm going against your love coach, I'm not coaching Kelly. I think he's lost the team the way he braces players. It's one thing being hard and tough, but one thing is being a Delta Bravo, and I think he's lost that.
What time is that game?
And I'm picking Vandy.
I think it's a night game.
I think I'm going to go with the quarterback from Vandy. I don't feel good about this, but
remember when Troy beat LSU at night? It's possible. Just saying.
Missouri at Mississippi State. Does Missouri get it done? Who you going with?
Like Missouri.
Yeah, Missouri. I'm with you. Alabama at Oklahoma. What happens? What say you, Jeremy? You've been pretty good about this. What's going to have to play out for Bama to win? They have to start fast. What do they do?
Just don't get behind early and grind it out and get out of there. That's the biggest thing. It's going to be cold. It's going to be windy. So manage the football. Don't make mistakes and go on.
Penalties, turnovers, stuff like that. Have a good scheme.
You're the better ball team.
Yeah.
Don't beat
throw
yourself.
it no more. Don't let him throw the ball more than 20 times.
Yeah.
Throw it 20 or under. You're going to win the ball game.
Ball them up. Run
and I
out.
will be honest, this game scares me to death.
You were asking about Vandy, LSU. It's a night game down in Baton Rouge. So.
Ooh, I might change my pick.
You're scared of every game Bama plays. Bama could play some Sisters of the Blind or something, and you still would be scared.
I am. I'll be honest with you. All right, the big one. This is the big one in the country. Ohio State's not the same football team. You just lost your center. You lost one of your top offensive linemen a couple weeks ago. They got the best roster in college football, but that offensive line scares me now. I thought they'd win the national championship. Now I'm kind of thinking Oregon might do it. Does Ohio State blow them out with all the injuries and does Indiana go away? Or does they shock the world and they jump up higher in the rankings and they're in? They win this, there's no doubt they're in. I think the Buckeyes get it done. It's at home. I think their backup center can play, or he wouldn't be at Ohio State. I'm going Ohio State.
I think Indiana's going to be able to move the ball. If they're able to move the ball, the upset can happen. Oregon obviously handled the Buckeyes, and the game was out there. I think the difference will be that it's the game at the Horseshoe, and Ohio State ekes it out, but they're going to have to score. They're going to have to outscore them.
Wow, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What do you think, Michigan Eddie?
I'm taking the Buckeyes because here's the thing. I don't trust Coach Day as far as I can throw him, but he does have a very experienced coaching staff now with Kelly and all that, and that's going to be the difference. And I think they're going to pulverize the Hoosiers, and Cignetti's going to be welcomed into the Big Ten the proper way.
All right. Thank you, sir. Michigan Eddie, thanks for calling, brother. You have a great
What about BYU, Arizona State?
Well, you have a great day. We appreciate you. We love you. Goodbye. Hang up. Jeremy, thank you for coming in.
Hey.
You did an incredible job like always.
Happy Thanksgiving to y'all.
Tell me what's going on at church.
Well, we're going to be there Sunday morning, First United Methodist Church, kind of our Thanksgiving Sunday, 8:15, 9:30, 10:45. And then, like many, you'll get into the Thanksgiving holidays, and then shortly after, everybody turns their attention toward all things Christmas. Hard to believe.
Can you believe it? Can you believe football has gone by this quickly?
It races by.
Every year, it seems like it goes quicker, I guess, as you get older. And I can't believe the seasons. We got one more regular season game.
Now, we are going to have a longer postseason. I mean, we'll still be talking until January 20th.
Well, you got the SEC, you got the championship Saturday, you got the Army Navy, then you get 1 week with nothing.
Actually, no, we're back up and running with those first round games.
Oh, do you have those scheduled?
Yeah, we were looking there, talking about.
Was it the 20th, Friday night?
Yeah, the 19th, 20th, I think. The
2021st.
Or 2021st, something like that. But you've got those first round games there. So yeah, we get the championship weekend, you get the Army Navy, and then you get the home first round 5 through 12 playing each other, the 20th, and then New Year's Day bowls, quarterfinals on the 10th, and then the national championship game goes all the way out now to the 20th of May. Or 20th of January, Monday, 20th of January.
Now, we got you, not this Thursday, but the following Thursday you'll be here?
Yeah, should be here next
Okay, good. Yeah. And that's playoff Saturday. We'll make picks for that. Okay, looking forward to that. I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving.
Do the same.
And be safe.
Yeah.
We'll make our picks Tuesday. If you want to come join us Tuesday.
If I'm around Tuesday, I think I'm out Tuesday. I'll have to check.
Well, you got to let me know.
I'll call them in.
Yeah.
I'll call in.
Yeah, call in that day. We'll do it. You can do it with us. Hey, here's the tickets real quick. New York Giants play Dallas Cowboys Thanksgiving Day. Tickets are going for $28.
Wow.
The nosebleed for one ticket for Texas A&M, up in the very top by the light post, $577.
Good grief.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Crazy.
I'm not going to keep talking. You told me, and now you changed it. I'm not talking. You talk.
No, you misunderstood my hand signals.
Oh, my bad.
You're
I
bad.
tried for that job, and I didn't get it. For some reason, they wouldn't hire me. I don't understand that. That hurt me. Now, you guys have a great day. Ryan Moe's got a show. They got the Underdogs right. He's on
Inside
today.
Drive today. No Inside Drive tomorrow.
Yeah. And then
Underdogs off till next week. And
next week, Thanksgiving will be on Monday, Tuesday. Everybody else, I think, is off that week. And we're out. Have a great day. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is your home for the NFL.
Touchdown, Denver!
We bring you the biggest games every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night.
Oh, he's got the first down!
Plus, we'll broadcast more college football games than ever before.
He did what?
Live NFL and college football.